The Skoda Kodiaq was the company's first proper modern SUV, and it introduced the whole process of naming starting with a K and ending in a Q. Now there's an all new version and a lot has changed with it. So we're going to go through some of the details of what's new, most important, what are the best features of the new Kodiaq. So let's start at the front, because this is the face that you're going to recognize, and probably the first thing you're going to notice about this being the new model. And it has this illuminated grille now. It's not quite as in your face as what you get on the Enyaq, but it does give it a bit of a different look. And no longer is there any chrome around the front. It has this kind of more brushed appearance, looks a little bit nicer as well. You still have an opening down the bottom, but these are shutters in behind here to improve the car's aerodynamics. But also, there's a new headlight design as well. Very, very detailed, quite intricate. When you really look at it, there's a lot of detail in there. It looks very upmarket. You can get the latest generation of matrix LED headlights. And one little neat feature is right on the side here, you've got this kind of green hint just on the side of the headlight. And that's a nod to Skoda's crystalline design that has been a part of its modern range of cars. Now, the overall design means that it is a little bit longer than before by 61 millimeters, but the wheelbase length between the two wheels is only 1 millimeter longer. The roof is almost the same height as before, but has a new design, new profile, meaning there's better space inside. You can get these aerodynamically optimized wheels. They range from 17 inches right up to 20 inches. And there's a couple of new features, including this dark chrome panel on the C-post here. And that just breaks up the design, gives it a little bit of a unique feature as well. There's going to be a range of engines available with the Kodiaq, starting with a 1.5 litre mild hybrid petrol engine with 150 horsepower. There's also going to be two diesel engines, both 2 litres, one with 150 horsepower as well, and another more powerful 193 horsepower version. Perhaps the bigger news is that there's going to be a plug-in hybrid for the first time in a Kodiaq, using a 25 kilowatt hour battery for an electric driving range of up to 100 kilometers, and that's paired with a 1.5 litre petrol engine, giving a total output of 204 horsepower. That's going to be pretty good news for those doing a lot of urban commuting. The interior gets a fresh new look, and it's all digital, including this large touchscreen display mounted up nice and high, and you have a 10-inch digital display right in front of you as well. There's now a drive selector up on top of the steering wheel alongside the rest of the column stalks, and that frees up a lot of room in the center console here. You've got a large storage area, cup holders, wireless charging for 2 devices as well, and that's also cooled now, so it means that it can charge at a higher 15-watt rate, charging up your phones that bit faster without overheating them as well. There's also more room underneath here. The seats are nicely bolstered, and the overall look is much nicer than before. There are a lot more upmarket looking materials inside here, especially this kind of contrasting material on the dashboard. The other thing that's new inside the Kodiaq are these new digital controls down the bottom. They've each got a little color display on top of them, and they will adjust it depending on what you're actually using it for. So the center button will allow you to toggle through different features, and you can then also use the outer ones to adjust the temperatures. Just push it in and it will shift through different functions as well. Same with the 2 outer buttons. If you push them in, it will also then bring up your seat controls if you want heated seats or cooled seats. It's really nice. I like the way that they're always illuminated, and you still have that nice degree of physical controls for climate settings. These are the things you're always going to change when you're on the move, so it's much nicer to be using these rather than messing around with a digital touchscreen that you can't feel without looking at it. Elsewhere, what else have you got? Well, it's still very practical inside. There's a lot of storage space. There's a big glove box. You have all this space in the center console, decent sized door bins, and you've got a whole lot of room in the back too. The Kodiaq has always been a very roomy car. It's one of the best 7-seaters in that respect, and it's no different. In fact, there's more room in the rear seat for those passengers than ever before. But also, there's loads of space here in the middle seat. These are all fully adjustable, so you can adjust the backrest, you can move the seats forward and back. I can just about touch the seat in front of me right now. I'm 5'9", so I'm fairly average height, and I've got a lot of room. I can stretch out my legs underneath the seat in front as well, so that's a big bonus. I've got heating controls in the back here, 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket, and this storage area, so you can have extra odds and ends in here. That's on top of the fact that you've got pockets in the backs of the seats and very big door bins here as well. Adding to the sense of space, a huge panoramic glass sunroof too. Around the back, there's an all new look that's kind of reflective of what you see in the front. It's all about lighting and about detail. There's new C-shaped lighting designs, and they're kind of joined by this bar. Although it's not fully illuminated all the way across the back, it does have that kind of red tint to it. Makes it stand out a little bit more, and obviously this is one of the latest models to carry the new Skoda word mark on it. More importantly is about what's inside, because this has a pretty large boot. Even the plug-in hybrid model can still manage up to 745 litres of boot space, so this is a very practical car. You have an option of either 5 or 7 seat versions, and even in the boot there's a lot of very practical features. If you want a tow bar, you can electrically deploy that from inside the back. There's a 12-volt socket, and there's also a handy little lever to drop down the rear seats if you need to have even more boot space. This is still an immensely practical SUV. It's perfect for families because of how much space it has inside. So that's our first look at the all new Skoda Kodiaq. It goes on sale towards the end of this year. First deliveries are due to begin in 2024. If you want to know more about the car, head over to our website. It's CompleteCar.ie. You'll find it linked in the description below, and it's a great resource for finding your next new car. Thanks for watching.